do often wonder if vegans are maybe the devolution of man. Like in 20 years, maybe we're going to turn back into like monkeys.
So already starting strong, the hunter is already telling the vegan that they are gonna turn into monkeys because of it. But I don't care. Personally, I like to eat meat, and yeah.
Hi,
Hey,
it's
how you doing?
you.
Nice to see you. How are you?
Hi, nice to meet you.
nice to meet
Already. His name is Earthling Ed. Can you hear that? His name is Earthling Ed. Like, who in the right mind would name themselves that? I wouldn't. That's for sure.
Actually,
Why do you say disagree, not strongly disagree?
because it depends what type of meat.
So what do you mean by type of meat?
I personally disagree with eating meat that has been bought from the supermarket. I don't believe in walking down a supermarket aisle to these perfectly wrapped pink pieces of flesh with kind of no relationship to where they're from.
So what type of meat do you advocate for people to eat?
I personally hunt the meat that I eat myself. I don't advocate that everyone goes out there and hunts because it's impractical. However, I do promote that there is wild meat available to be purchased online. So I suppose I do advocate to eat meat that's been responsibly and ethically sourced over meat that's been produced in mass factory farm conditions.
So already, well, I didn't even do the intro to the video now, did I? Hello, it's Adam, and today we're gonna be reacting to Hunter versus Vegan. Can you kill animals and love them? Agree to disagree. Lad Bible. And already she's bringing up some pretty good points that I would agree with. Yes, I agree that not every single piece of meat in the grocery aisle is safe to eat. You don't know where it's been. You don't know who touched it or anything, but dang, the chicken be tasting good. So like let's see what the vegan has to say about this.
What we both agree on there is that we want people to be connected to what they eat. So mindlessly shopping in a supermarket is, the last thing we want. We want people to be connected. You used that word ethical earlier. Obviously, that's going to be where we have a huge disagreement, right? When we
Okay, surprisingly, he agreed with her. Never seen a vegan do that ever. Most people that are vegan that I've seen on the internet, not saying that everybody is like this, when somebody brings up a valid argument, they usually come back with, oh, it's morally wrong to eat meat. It's not good for the environment. But then again, in my opinion, eating meat is the right thing to do because if we didn't do that, there would be overpopulation. There would be, people dying due to malnutrition. People that have an iron deficiency would not be able to get their iron unless it's, taken through a pill, which is unnatural. And most vegans say, we live life naturally. Taking a pill that has been made with chemicals and iron that is supposedly supposed to give you iron is not natural. We shouldn't be doing that, but that's just my opinion, and I'm taking way too much time on this one. So let's continue.
kill an animal, we don't show respect to them, and we take their life from them completely unnecessarily. And it has no purpose in either of our lives. And we don't have to, so by default, it can't be ethical.
I like how she puts her hands in a, oh my god, this man does not know what he's doing position, because it's right, but at the same time, well, I don't even know how to feel about that one. So, Well, let's continue with the argument.
to take life needlessly.
Could I ask, what do you believe makes your diet more ethical than mine? Every time, every single plant crop that you eat, there will have been animals that die.
I'm glad that you used the word more ethical. I'm happy to admit that in a vegan diet, it's not perfect, but what it is it's a significant step in the right direction.
Okay. No. Just because I'm uneducated and do not know a lot of things, but this is what I do know. Humans, Homo sapiens, are omnivores. They eat meat and vegetables, plants, stuff like that. And they're saying step in the right direction. And in my opinion, that's a step in the wrong direction because we've evolved eating meat and vegetables, and then biodiversity is going to take effect if this keeps going. People just be eating meat, which won't happen necessarily quickly. It'll take like thousands of years. Then some people will be, used to eating plants and can't eat meat, which will technically be in their favor, but not. If they try meat, it'll be bad for them, but I'm not a science expert. I don't even know what I'm talking about.
I'll be strong about that one.
This is how I feel about the natural thing. Is I can't say that I strongly disagree or agree. I kind of feel that I should maybe be a little bit more in the just straight bang neutral in the middle because I think at the end of the day, it cannot be denied that we've eaten meat for thousands of years, right? And it also can't be denied that eating meat was a cornerstone in our survival, in our development in many ways, and it helped us progress to the species. That can't be denied.
Okay, yes, he is talking straight facts now. Meat was the thing that made human brains, be smart. If it wasn't for meat, we'd still be in the Ooga Booga, I slap you in the face with a big, heavy wooden club for no reason other than funny. Times, because we wouldn't have eaten meat, our brains would have developed way slower, or maybe not at all, but yeah.
But I think that what is natural, it's kind of a fallacy because it doesn't translate to how we should live in today's world. There's a lot of things that we don't do that would be considered natural. So what is natural doesn't connotate what is moral or immoral. So I think that it's irrelevant whether or not eating meat would be considered something that we have naturally done throughout history because we've changed so much as a species.
I think it's a shame that we've changed, though.
Okay, so, yes, we've eaten meat for thousands of years. I don't even... until like the late 90s, mid to late 90s, people started becoming vegetarian. Hitler himself, well, I'm gonna get, striked for that one, was vegetarian. But I'm not comparing vegans to said ruler of Germany back in the 1940s, early 1930s, late 1940s. Or I must have said that wrong. But, yeah, he was vegetarian. He was pretty healthy. But then, you know what happened later. He actually lived a pretty long life. What am I even talking about? I'm getting off track.
I think we need to keep that connection to nature. And I really, like you say, the science is there. We do have the canines, we do have the incisors for ripping and tearing. There's some really interesting information and studies that people have found out there about our early ancestors and how eating meat and the specific proteins from meat actually made us human as we are today. I do often wonder if vegans are maybe the devolution of man. Like in 20 years, maybe we're going to turn back into like monkeys, or because we stop eating meat.
His face went from a smile to like, oh. I was gonna agree with her, but now that she brought that up, he's definitely offended by this. Okay, let's continue.
If I had my way you have daydreams about, we'd all go back to living in caves or living off the land or living off little log cabins. That's where I find my enjoyment.
But you'd be dead at
still
30.
Being that.
In that life, you'd be dead at 30.
But hey, I'd have had a great life.
Well, do you what? But you live day-to-day survival. There's no enjoyment in that life. It's a life of fear. That's not an aspirational life. And I think you can say it's an aspirational life because you live such a comfortable life now.
I think we just live in, I think, as I said, if I had it my way, it'd be like, I suppose, the Disney movie.
In Bambi, they kill the deer, and that's why everyone's upset, because someone kills the deer. And so you say it's like a Disney movie, but you're the bad guy in the Disney movie.
But that's the cruel heart. No, I wouldn't have killed him.
No, okay, but you killed deer, that's the point, right? So
it's because I care about them that I do shoot them. I know that sounds really weird to you.
well, not necessarily explain
Hear
what
me
you
out.
mean by that. Yeah,
So
exactly.
in the UK, deer have no natural predators. Basically, if I didn't manage the deer in those woodlands, the population would explode.
And that's my argument right there that I said earlier in the video. The thing that he said about Bambi, like she's the bad guy. That's the reason they're upset. The reason they're upset is not because the deer's dead. It's because the deer was the queen. I haven't watched Bambi. So basically, like, the deer was, the ruler, and they killed their ruler, so then they're sad. And then Bambi has to do his stuff, and become a buck. Stuff like that. Yeah, I haven't watched Bambi in a while, so.
To an extent that woodlands basically couldn't support, and it would basically spoil the ecosystem for the rest of the wildlife. I was a vegetarian when I was a child for the same reasons that we're discussing now. I actually got shingles, which was really unusual for someone of such a young age. Went to the doctors, I was really anemic, and he said she's not, I'm not saying this is the case now, but back then, the diet that I was having just wasn't meeting my nutritional requirements.
Dairy is an iron inhibitor anyway, but a vegan.
Okay, this is what I meant about the pills that people were taking because they have iron deficiency and stuff, because they're supposed to get their nutrients, which some of them, like protein, iron, stuff like that, is found in meat. And we're supposed to eat meat because it's nutritional. Not all of it, because fat is not good for you. Grilled meat, like burgers, but they do be slapping though, aren't good for you because they're covered in grease, and grease is a fatty substance. You're not supposed to eat too much of it, or else you'll go diabetic, because you'll gain a lot of weight. And it's good to eat things, don't get me wrong. It's good to be vegan, but that you should really know what you're going to be doing to yourself if you have iron deficiency problems. It's good to eat meat, but in a controlled amount so you don't go overweight. So just in the balance, that's what I'm just saying.
Vegan diet is healthier for you. It's not true in its blanket statement, because obviously you could eat, Oreos and Doritos all day and be terribly unhealthy. But at the same time, if you implement a whole foods plant-based diet, you're aware of where your nutrients come from, you're on that, then it absolutely can be.
I'm staying neutral until there's more information about vegan diets, until it's kind of taken its fruition and you've all turned into monkeys, and then we'll have the conversation.
Well, we may be monkeys, but at least we won't have like coronary heart disease and such.
Okay, before this question even starts to get answers. The answer is yes. You can love your dogs, you can love your cats. People have pigs, they eat pig. People have cow pets, they eat beef. People have sheep, and they eat lamb chops. So yes, you can love an animal and eat it at the same time. Some people may call you crazy, but it's just a harsh truth. You can't be perfect. Nothing in this world is perfect. You can do whatever you want, but make sure to be good. Don't waste your life doing drugs and stuff, because they're not good for you. We'll make a part 2 on this. And yeah, hopefully you liked this video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, I don't care. Make sure to like and subscribe, even though I already told you to like, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.